Okay. It's going to be weird without music, but if this goes well, I want to put it on YouTube, so we'll see what happens. All right. Rank 1, baby. Rank 1, yes. I'll kind of wait till I'll kind of wait a few minutes until people trickle in, but yeah, rank 1. We'll leave it on the rank 1 screen for a little bit. We'll just leave it on the rank 1. This is my first ever rank 1. I've never ranked one of Clash of Wills before. Um, I've ranked one the last 2 Vision Worlds, 3 Vision Worlds, or Dark Visions, whatever. I think. Yeah. So from Xenogears and forward, I believe I've ranked one. So that would be what, February, April, and then last month. Although I don't really need the dark matter, because all the dark matter is one-handed weapons. But it'll be good to save because I believe JP is getting two-handed dark matter weapons, and which means we'll eventually get them. So you'll just want to save all your resources for those. Then anybody with like a any unit that needs a two-handed weapon that doesn't have like an STMR or some TMR upgrade that like gives them like 500 attack or whatever, that'll be your best in slot for those attackers. Which there's not a ton of, but like you know, you could go back and use some freer units. Like if you had like the two-handed sword from Dark Visions, you could give that to like Titus NVA, and because his STMR is water locked. So if you're doing a non-water fight, and you want to use him. If you have like a free to play account or you have a lower end account, you can do that. And do that after you spend some of those points. And I'm trying to think. There'll be a pretty easy priority order to go in as well. Like when the new Dark Vision weapons come out. You're only going to need 3 or 4 of them. Unless, of course, the stats are different. There might be like a reason to get the instrument if it has magic and not spirit. Or if it has like a passive that gives you more MP. Because that would be, maybe you could use that with an older unit like Oliveira to chain and do damage harder. There's lots of things that will factor in, but you're basically going to be looking at regular sword, great sword, katana, and fist weapon. So if you before, let's see, I don't think JP has them yet, or if they do, they just got them. So you got at least 6 months. So that's 3 more Vision Worlds / Dark Visions to save dark matter. Minimum, right? Minimum. They might hold it back. There's no guarantee we get it at 6 months. They might skip and whatever. So if you start saving your dark matter now, you're gonna get the 4 most important ones like as they come out. If you did okay in the last dark visions, So that's kind of cool. But yeah, this fight was tough. Like I'll start talking about it in a minute. I just want to give 5 or 10 minutes for anybody that saw the notification or whatever. I was thinking about doing it live, but I just couldn't wait. I didn't want to have like a weird thing where they started maintenance early or something happened where I couldn't stream it. So I just did it while I was at work today on my lunch hour, and it worked out. And I could do it again in theory if people want to see it done. I could do it again, but it's not really that interesting. Like if you want to see it done properly, I'll talk about what strat I used. I used a copy paste from our most favorite content creator out there for this game. I had to overcome some limitations in gear and from not having EX3 Esther and her card. So I guess technically that's gear as well, but also the innate bonus that she gets from EX3, which is probably flat attack, I would guess. We'll take a look at it in a second, but yeah, it's weird to rank 1 a the hardest clash we've ever had, probably. Um, I guess unless you count that one where you needed the Seraph staff, but like I don't know. That one was weird. Like if you had it, you could rank one it, and then they nerfed it midweek, and it was actually worse or something. It was so weird. That might be the worst. Maybe that one's the worst, but this is definitely the most difficult while working as intended. Let's put it that way. And it's not even that the mechanics are difficult. The mechanics are pretty straightforward actually once you see everything happening. It's just that in terms of how bulky this boss is, and that it does come at you with instant KO, so you have to have the gear to get around that too. And then you have to use all three elements. You can't just pick one or two of the three. You have to use all three, no matter which way you fight them, regularly or with the AI change. You have to have all three. You know, all that combined together, plus how bulky he is, how much he buffs himself. He has buffs you need to get rid of. If you have Sylvie, it's pretty much free, and then you can get rid of one set of. He has basically two sets of defense and spirit buffs you got to get rid of, and two sets of attack and magic buffs you got to get rid of. With Sylvie, you get rid of the attack and magic buffs for free. She has a skill that just gets rid of it that's unlimited use over and over, whatever. Depending on who you bring to the fight, you can dispel the other two. The thing is I think the best team in terms of like the cleanest and easiest strats where like you would take zero risk whatsoever. There's only one dispel in that makeup. It's a Magnus ability. I think there might be a way to restore charges to it with Esther that you don't need. The good thing is that by the time you have to break, you get to get rid of the second set of defense and spirit buffs. It's in the last phase, and the last phase is basically like if you get there, you win. It's just a matter of finishing the boss off before you lose your rank one. If you're generating enough morale in the last phase to outgain the 6k morale that the boss is gaining every turn after turn 20, your rank one's guaranteed, and you can I think whatever the rank one turn thing is, as long as you don't fall underneath that, you're good to go. So yeah, let me just quickly put the ranking details in here. Max damage, total morale gain, max chain, total number of attacks, and so on and so forth, and then the score bonuses, and then here it is, all of them turned on. So yeah, this is the team I used. I used Sinzar's first strategy that he released after the live stream. So he live streamed his attempts on day 1, and here I am on day 14. And the reason I waited to day 14 is because I got my EX3 Wilk today with the Shard Dungeon. The issue with my team was that I could not do the damage cap with what I had available. I could beat the fight for sure on 300% mod. I just couldn't get to the max damage in one turn, so I would not have been able to max this right here without him. And there's a combination of reasons why. Suffice to say, it was really nice. I'll talk about that in a minute, but it was really nice to rank 1 this one. After the heartbreak of last month and that CoW, where I could have easily ranked 1 that CoW last month, but the problem was I did not have EX3 CoW, nor did I have EX3 Kresnik, nor did I have EX3 Kaito, and I didn't have, I didn't have Esther until she came back on this banner. So I was one EX level short of being able to turn on all the mods. So I had like a 280 clear. So I had it capped, but it was on 280% instead of 300. So that was really disappointing. So to come through and get rank 1 this time is really cool. Especially when even with EX3 Wilk, I was not confident that I was going to be able to hit the damage cap. So let's talk about that real quick. Hitting the damage cap, you need a 2.5 billion or higher on any turn, basically, to hit the maximum damage in one turn. The rest of the stuff is pretty much a given. You're going to have to charge the morale bar. You're gonna get your 100 chain. The final morale value is a little bit difficult. Again, like if you don't have the morale generation to keep up with the boss after turn 20, that's a problem if you don't have the damage to kill him before turn 20. But luckily with Chow and the counterattacking and Sylvie and Runda and all the morale generation from all the different skills and all these units have, every single one of these units except for Runda is a clash unit. So there you go, right? I mean, they all have morale skills. And then I think even Runda has, he can generate morale just by using his 3 attacks. So he has a triple. He's a tank with a triple bolting strike chain, which can chain with other people, which can generate you morale. In that. So even though he doesn't have a specific morale skill, he can do, more. He can do his provoking passively. And in between the turns, we're using his SLB for the massive mitigation. Instead of guarding him, you can let him take a little bit more damage, and he can attack and get you more morale. So, hey, what's up, buddy? Did you get any farther on Clash? Uh, I mean, it's tough. This one's really tough. I'm just kind of talking about it right now. Um, yeah, and so what? My big hurdles were no EX3 Esther, so no card. That's tough. Because she gets like I think it's 50% dual hand from the card, which isn't too bad. But what you can do is you can use a Dark Knight's knowledge to give her the other 50 and also cap her demon killer, so that's pretty useful. Um, nice. Okay, well, best of luck. This one's tough, but it's it's an interesting fight. At least it was like really interesting and like there was lots of stuff going on and everything. Um, So that was my first hurdle, no EX3 Aster. Next hurdle was not having EX3 Wilk until today. That made a lot of difference. So that card is 140 attack on it. It has passive morale generation, which is really good. So that was a big problem. And then my other big issue is that I only have one of the chain cap increase items from Clash of Wills. I have that Magister's helmet. I have a completed robe, but I wasn't taking Clash seriously until this year. I didn't take the first 6 months really seriously. So I don't have a lot of the extra materials to have all 3 items made. Like I don't have the ring made. I have the first piece built. And then my robe, I actually went to rulers because I was putting both items on the same character and the Magister's bonus doesn't stack. And since I wasn't taking Clash seriously, it didn't really matter in any trial that I've done. Unfortunately, though, when you get to this trial where you can't hit the damage cap, then all of a sudden it's a big deal because you don't want to waste a materia slot on Indestructible Light. You really want that on the gear. So now that I have a rank 1 and I have a guaranteed, I think it's 1500, we'll see where we're at because I know the Magister's level of the ring costs 1250. It's not it's not 1,000, and then I think the level 10 costs 1,000. So there's no way I'll be able to finish the ring in one shot. So what I might do is I might take 1,000 of what I have coming, and I might just switch my robe to Magister's, just so this isn't as challenging as it was this time. We'll see what happens though, because by the time the next Clash comes around, we should have more information about how they're going to buff the Clash items. Maybe if they buff everything besides Magisters, it will be worth hanging on to, the ruler robe or whatever. We can always switch it back once you buy the recipe, and thankfully you can just change it whenever. You just have to spend money and pearls or whatever on orbs. They really should get rid of that, by the way. I don't know why it costs three ascendants or a transcendent to make an orb and then move the stuff around, but that's rough. So those are my limitations. I was hitting 2.1 billion without EX3 Wilk. I got EX3 Wilk. He got his passive for EX3. I equipped him with his card. And the only main difference in the strategy that I used, if you go watch Centaur's video, you'll see exactly what I did. The only main difference that I had in strategy was in the 2 or 3 times, I think it's only 2 times, you use Sylvie's targeted bonus demon killer buff. I put it on my Wilk instead of my Esther because Wilk was going to do more damage, just considering the better card and being EX3, so having more attack. So I put it on him instead of targeting Esther with it. And I believe in Cinzar's video, he had EX2 Wilk and EX3 Esther, so it makes sense for him to put it on Esther. That's about it when it comes to strategy that I changed. Obviously, I was a little bit of damage behind because the EX3 Wilk does not make up for, and not having the 2 extra Magister items is not going to make up for having all 3 Magister items and the EX3 Esther. So what I did do was I was about 2 turns behind at the end, but that's where it doesn't matter. I was about a turn behind at the phase shift from phase 1 to phase 2. So what I basically did was, since I was about 2 to 4% damage behind him in his strategies, I just took an extra turn. And with that, basically what I did was, instead of casting, a Runda SLB, I just held it for a turn and I guarded. Because since he had passive provoke, I would have Chow was basically doing the same thing every turn. And then I was just basically a turn behind on some stuff that, like buffs and everything. So basically what I did was I just kind of waited. And then, I did an extra turn to push from phase 1 to phase 2. And then I was still ready with all the stuff I needed to start phase 2. And then I was just behind a little bit, but then I caught up a bit. I got a little further behind during phase 2. In phase 3, I caught up a little bit, because in phase 3 he doesn't buff himself with anything. So I caught up there, and also Wilk was doing, a little bit more because of the wind imbue and all that, and having EX3. So caught up a little bit there, and then I went into phase 4 probably about a turn or 2 turns behind, and where Senzar's clear was at, I was probably about 2 to 4% of damage behind when I went into phase 3, but then phase 3. When I went into phase 4, I was about 5 or 6% damage behind in phase 2, and then I got it down to about somewhere between 2 to 4. And then when I went into the last phase, I was only 2 to 4% behind. I was like, okay, cool. I got to the last phase. The last phase is free, but I was at like turn 18 or 19 when I got there. I think I was at turn 19. Maybe I was even at turn 20. I don't remember. But I should have recorded it, actually. I don't know why I didn't record it, and then I could have played the video. But basically, I knew I was home free. The only question was, could I finish on max morale? Because after turn 20, the boss starts gaining 6k morale per turn. And with Chow countering, Chow's morale skills, Sylvie's morale skills, and so on, I was able to just eat right through all the morale he was generating. There are certain strategies as well you can employ, like if you get there and you can maybe wait a turn to kill him with damage and just fill morale instead. Try to make sure that if you have Kresnik, I think it's a lot less of a concern. So what you can do too is you can just wait for him to cycle through back to the earth, because in the phase 4 he does each element each turn in a row. So I guess that's, maybe we should describe that too. So for reference, when you change the AI behavior, it goes, it's all earth, and then he has 3 different sets of actions he does on each turn, and then he repeats. Whereas in the regular AI, the first turn he does something, you have to hit him with earth. Second turn he does something, you have to hit him with lightning. Third turn he does wind, you have to hit him with wind. And then I think that changes at 50% or something like that. Or it might not change at all. So the AI change on, it goes, he has 3 different things he does while in the first phase, and you have to do earth every turn. Then you go to lightning for 74 or 75 to 51%. Then you go to wind for 50 to 26%. And then after, when you get into the last phase, he goes into that base AI that he's in the whole time, which is why it's way easier, because you can just imbue with all 3 elements and then hit him every turn, and you'll always count as sealing him. So once I got there, it was all good. What I would advise, if you do use the Chow strat, if you don't have cap morale, just hover and just try to fill morale with skills without doing a whole lot of damage. And then once he uses, I believe it's his Earth turn, where he does all the attacks and Chow covers them all, your Chow will counter, and that'll get you a bunch of extra morale, and it might bring you back to the point where when you finish him, you'll have cap morale. So, but yeah, that's what we got to. We did it. And then I'll show you my team's gear a little bit, because it is a little bit different. I did have to move some things around. I foregoed some extra defense on Esther to make sure that I got her killers maxed. I believe Sins went in with 275 dragon and 275 demon. I went in with 300 dragon and 300 demon, but less attack because I don't have the card here. So I have her using Die's card, which is still a 500 bonus. I don't know if there's a female FFBE unit card that gives 500 attack. Kaito's card I think doesn't discriminate. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So I could have given her a Kaito card, but then, there's nothing for her here there's Katana and then there's some resist that don't matter. So I gave her this because this gives her a 50% attack if we needed it, if we needed to drop it somewhere else, and also 25% LB damage, which if you take a look at this right here, I was able to utilize to get her to capped LB as well. So this actually kind of worked out well. This is probably the best option for not having, and it gave her some extra HP, which does matter because there is one turn where you have to let your whole party get hit. Even though Runda's 85% mitigation is up, it still takes everybody down to about half, maybe a little lower. I think it took me down to about a third, and then you heal back up with Chow and you're okay. But but since I had the 25% LB, I didn't have to worry about getting her LB capped with materia, right? So. And I'm also utilizing Black Submarine to get, 75% Demon. You can get this from a couple different places, but Orba's Boon for safety in case. I think everybody has some guts. I think all the DPS have some kind of guts on them. Yeah, so Lucid Lenses. And then I don't know if Wilk has. Yeah, he has Lucid Lenses as well. So the only thing I could have done differently that I didn't do is I might have been able to upgrade these attack items to higher attack level, but then I would have been totally risking it on the phase where you have to actually let your party get hit. So each of the DPS having not only immunity to KO, which is super important because there is a spot where you're going to have to all get KO'd and dodge that. Having guts on each DPS would mean that even if at one point in the fight where I lose everybody, I get them back. At least I get them back and I don't have to waste turns rezzing. I'll have to rebuff everyone, but whatever. So that's what I did here. I didn't change a whole lot gear-wise. It's basically the same, except for, like I said, Esther. And then I changed a little bit with my Wilk, too. But, yeah, so what I was able to do is I was able to get the 100% TDH from these two materia, which I only needed 25% of each killer. But getting the full here and then getting the 25% from the card, that let me get capped everything. So capped LB damage, capped double hand, capped demon killer, capped dragon killer. And then I'll show you this as well. Oops. Can I click off, please? Thank you. And then, yeah, of course, we had capped attack to spare. We had 50 from the card, 50 from the submarine. So, if you don't have Black Submarine, you can just put on any demon killer 75% and you should be able to get to the same stats. So we had that to spare here. If you don't have the die card is tough. Try to find a card with LB on it and flat attack on it. But yeah, not having the die card, this is actually why I ended up spending some lapis on die. When they announced that this card would be different, I'm like, that card is perfect because whenever you don't have a card for a collaboration unit, or you're waiting on an EX3 card for a premium unit, you can always use this die card. It's actually why die is going to take my Wilk spot in the Shard dungeon ahead of everybody else. Because I don't really need too many other units. I mean, it'll be cool in 6 months when he gets his upgrades, but I'd actually really rather have a second die card than EX3 id. So an EX2 id is still going to get those crown upgrades, and he's still going to wreck pretty hard. So. And then, of course, here I didn't have the ring, so I just plopped on the highest attack accessory I had available, which is the Moon Charm. So there you go. Other than that, all the same with the patches and stuff for the killers. Blizzard Orb as her KO preventer. You probably want to use a Lucid Lens here instead if you have a third Lucid Lens. I had 3 Blizzard Orbs, and I could have made a third Lucid Lens. I didn't really think that the 5 flat attack would be worth more though than the countering. because the countering actually, what's funny is it can build you some morale. So I threw an extra Blizzard Orb on here and didn't bother with the 5 extra attack you get from Lucid Lenses. Kaito, I switched up a bunch of stuff here. Um, this is all the same. This robe should be a Magister's robe. I didn't have that. But then you go over to the materia here, and instead of this weird setup again where, he had some defense, I sacrificed the defense. I'm relying on the guts, and I gave him his extra dual hand that he needed from the actually, he might not have needed that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I rearranged this. I let him have his own card, and then since the force gives you 100% demon, we're good there. And then I got 75 dragon from here, and I believe that put me at 275. And I needed to get the killer's cap, so I did this. I got rid of the 100% TDH, and I put this here, and I needed 50% more TDH. So what I did was I just went through. I was gonna go to robe after this, but I went through hat first, and the drop off and hat that had 50% TDH on it wasn't that bad. This is only like a 20-point drop off. And then I was able to take the Demon Crown off, which only gives you 25% Demon Killer because I had the extra Demon Killer rocking from the Force Mysterion here. So we were capped anyway. So I could afford to sack this, and I'm only taking a 20-point hit on the Bicorn. Whereas here, I think I'd be taking a much bigger hit. Yeah, so 120 down to 92. So that's what, a 38 or 28-point hit. So that's an 8 more flat attack hit. And this is okay, like it's status immunity, but like we already have status immunity from all the buffs we're throwing down with CoW and so on every turn. And like the 10% MP doesn't matter because again, CoW's counterattacking and restoring all of our MP whenever we get drained, so that doesn't matter either. So that's why I went that route. And then of course, not only are you talking about losing the 28 points here, but the ruler's passive is 300 to all stats. So I would have actually been losing 328 as opposed to losing 20 by trying to find a chess piece that had 50% TDH on it. So that's why I went there. And then with Wilk, again, equipment's all the same, but the gear is not. I sacrificed the all materia, the all you need is strength materia here, for the Moogle one, because we didn't need the flat attack, and we were already capped damage boost. So if I can show you his stats here, so we were already capped on flat attack. We're way over cap anyway. This would have put us to 600. We already needed the 100% TDH. We were already capped on HP as well, which was why I'm using this determined to defeat the Empire for my status immunity instead of like I Love Chocobos or something cheaper or newer. But with his card, he gets the morale gain, and he gets 50% LB boost, which means he's capped on LB. So he gets 100% HP, 100% attack. So he's getting all this from his own card. And he's getting 20 more base attack. I was using the Tyvis card on him before. So a lot of this stuff, you get your evasion from here. You get your flat attack from this as well. So you obviously want to always have this on. We might have been able to get rid of Sea Dragon, but I believe this gives him... Does this give him 100% evade? Yeah. So this gives him 100% evade. So if you have any problems during the Mirage stuff, like, may as well keep it on. But yeah, so I just shifted some stuff around here. I took this instead because this LB fill rate. This is nice for when, like, especially in the last phase, when CoW is countering and filling your LB gauge and this can actually let you burst with LBs every turn as opposed to having to do stuff in between. So it's just a hedge. It doesn't really matter. Anything that gives you 100% TDH is fine. But with any Dragon Killer materia that's 50%, you get to capped Dragon on him. And, he gets capped Demon for free, basically. Hey, John, what's up? So that's all I really changed. In terms of gear, Sylvie straight copied, Rundo straight copied, and then on Chow, I did not have the event counter materia, so I used Future Emperor instead. Oops. And the difference between these two is that the event materia that Sinzar used has 40% activation, and this only has 30. But it's about the same, and this also restores more MP as well. So close. You don't even technically need something here that it gives you more counter rate if you're doing double Blizzard Orb, but I threw it in there just to try to make sure that I get the most counters possible, especially if the fight went late and I needed to out morale gain the turn 20 plus morale gain from the boss. So, and then also I fully geared my Divine Beast shift mode, because there is a turn where you shift to him and you do damage. So I gave him the mirror because it has Demon Killer, and I actually geared him out completely with Max Spirit and all this, just to do a little bit of extra damage in the one turn you use the shift form. And that's just because, again, I knew I was going to be behind a bit in damage compared to the clear I was following, and I wanted to just try to maximize that if I could. So it ended up working out. I think I killed on turn 23. I killed on turn 22 or turn 23, but the good thing was, like, I had so much morale gain that it didn't matter, and I didn't lose that last little bitty of points for having not max morale at the end. So there it is. Rank 1. I'd rather do other stuff and talk about how the week went for everybody than sit here for half an hour plus doing the clear again. And what I'm going to try to do on Wednesdays in the future is I'm just going to fire up the stream on Wednesday night, and I just kind of like want to talk about what happened this week, because people talk about the news on Tuesday for Thursday, they jump on Thursday, they do all the stuff day one on Thursday, but nobody really does like a review, like how was this week and so on. So I figure like that's kind of like what my niche could be if I ever have one. So let me just throw my expedition off real quick here, and we'll go talk about all the stuff that happened this week. So the units we got, I blew a bunch of my tickets. I blew all my EX tickets just in case that the Sylvian Esther aren't in there, and it takes some time to get back in. So I just threw them all off, and I figured I'll have a go and see what happens. I did get a rain. So I made his TMR right away. No rush on the STMR, though. I mean, maybe I Moogle him. I don't have any STMR Moogles at the moment. But I also don't need any STMRs either. So I'm at this space right now where every STMR I get from here on out is a luxury. Until some new unit comes in that, like, it's totally worth it. So let's take a look-ski at what we had this week. All right, so we had these step ups. I don't know if anybody pulled on these. I have some friends that I have a friend that just started again about a month ago. Great timing too, like, for anniversary. This is really pricey. 9, 14, 18, 22, 26. It's a lot of fragments. The problem is, like, you can't use these on Esther, I don't think. And that would have been key. Like, if you could have used these on Esther, I would have opened, like 3 steps of this. But I don't believe you can. So let's go check the shop. Envy fragment step up. Let's just confirm it. I think it's Kaito and back, and no premium. Let's just scroll to the bottom. That'll tell us. So much harder to infinite scroll on a mouse than... Okay, yeah. So Kaito and back, like, this isn't bad. Like, if you pulled Kaito and you're like 100 frags away, doing 2 step ups is probably worth it. Fravia, again, like, you don't gain a ton from her EX3, but it's nice to have. Like, her damage is already pretty low. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I was thinking about doing it for Reb, but, like, we have infinite Shard Dungeon coming soon, and I just don't feel like wasting the Lapis on getting an EX3 Reb now or an EX3 Kresnik now is really worth it. I probably actually would use it on Kresnik. If I did 2 steps to this, I'd probably use it on Kresnik to get my Kresnik DS3, just in case the next CoW punishes Chow in some way and you need to bring Kresnik instead. So, yeah. And then what? Since we're already in the shop, oh, okay, it's just an overall Neovisions. So that one's kind of tough. This is a very very weird. You have to be in a very very weird space to spend lapis on this banner. You really probably would want to just save this instead for like, you know, actually good banners where you're going to get 2 or 3 copies maybe of a good unit in the future that's going to, you know, be good from the day you get it, as opposed to going back to stuff that's going to be power crept. July Neo Rainbow Value Summon. Gain 4 envies and an additional one from a curated pool. So the curated pool was what? I don't remember what this was. Okay, that's just the generic drop rates information. I don't know what the curated pool was, but $48 for 5 NVs is pretty steep. 3% NV on here and 10 summons, which is not even, you're not even on odds to get one. And you get 3 mystery crystals. I guess this isn't too bad. The problem is that like there's over 20 earnable mystery crystals in the game that are not rotating out. So like if you maybe you haven't bought the maximum amount with like your extra coins from banners and stuff, but that's not a big deal. You really don't need that many units at level 130, you know. I think I have 4 units at level 130, and it's because we've gotten the extra bonus mystery crystals from anniversary, so that's like 6 more. I think I bought 3 in the shop of Kaito because there was nothing else to buy. Because I bought all the fragments and everything. Uh, so yeah, and I've done every single free crystal, which I think it's almost 30 now. I know it's more than 20. I think it's like 20. It's in the mid 20s. So, um, not really like this should be like half of what it costs. If this was half what it costs and the curated pool was really good, I think I'd say yeah, let it fly. But if the curated pool is like any premium unit, that's not good enough because there's a bunch of duds. Like you could get old premium units that you don't need anymore. You know, you could get a really bad premium unit like Yuna. You know, like there's all sorts of landmines you could step on with this. It's definitely not worth $48, that's for sure. Dark Fina and Warriors Per Rain. Good STMRs and TMRs. Bad units, unfortunately. Not really worth pulling on. I skipped these. I did get a Rain off banner. Like I said, I blew all my tickets down here on the Esther Sylvies because, again, Esther's so good. Like, it's worth pulling an extra one just to get you to EX3 faster. But, you know, not pulling one at the end of the day, no big deal. And like I said, I got enough Wilkes on my step up to be able to get him to EX3 without doing anything but running him through the shard dungeon. So I won't even need to buy his stuff when they come available with coins, if they do. I don't remember if Esther's were available with coins or not. If they were, I bought them all, but I don't remember if they were or not. So, but I'm at EX2 Esther and then some with most, I think, of 10 out of the 14 days run in the shard dungeon. We can go look at mine in a minute and I'll see how far I am away from it. But yeah, this week nothing really good to pull on. I would have saved my lapis for the additional limited time banner that's coming again. So that limited time banner that was available last week, it's coming back again tomorrow. So if like you didn't get enough Chows or Cartons or Laras, you can run through that again. And yeah, I mean, even though Lara's being sunsetted slowly, Chow's still incredibly good. Carton still invalidates like most of the trials in the game. You know, Lara's a 90% break with damage. So if you don't have Wilk, and you don't have Kaito, or you want to use Kaito as more of a support unit, and you want to bring, you know, Lara anyway, it's probably worth it. Fire's almost always in CoW. This is like one of the first times like the last 9 months it hasn't been since she's been out. I think it's something like 2 out of 7 or 2 out of 9. It's not been Fire or some crazy thing. And you know, Kaito's imbuable, so sometimes you're gonna want, maybe you want both. I don't know. It's an interesting world. Louise is much better. Has the gun imperil that could really do some work for you. If you missed out on Kaito, and you don't want to do something dumb like pull on this stupid thing up here on the top that's super expensive to get him. Even actually that's not even guaranteed. You'd have to have one and then get them, and then you can your fragments here. Your fragments you could get from here, but yeah, no thanks. So if you don't have Kaito, I mean, it's probably worth going for because Lara and Chao together, it's kind of worth having those two things until you can get yourself a good 90% defense break. Even if you have a Venera, I'd still want a Lara because Lara brings damage and Venera brings 0 damage. So, maybe Venera will get her due when we get our next War of the Visions collab, which should be sometime soon. The next collabs are War of the Visions again and Nier. We just don't know what order they're going to be in. I really think Nier is going to be first. I don't think you announce Nier and then make people wait. Because Anniversary got a lot of people back into the game. And this is the time to strike. So if that Nier shit's ready, I think you send that as soon as you can to make sure you don't let these people like fall out of playing the game again that came back, by giving them a War of the Visions collab that probably won't do a whole lot because outside of Venera giving us a 90% break on global, the War of the Visions collabs have done pretty much nothing. Like the only thing they've ever done is the very first one gave us a 90% defense break on a unit, and that was the first one we got. So maybe what they'll do is they'll give Venera some crown stuff, or maybe they'll give her one of the materia like they gave to Louise. That makes her her damage way better, and then she's usable in more than just one phase, which is breaking for 90% and then sitting there. But I still would not risk that, especially if they're not going to overclock one of these units. I think that's what I'm going to call it now. When you get one of these new materials, I'm going to call it getting overclocked, because isn't that the name of Louise's? That's a great term for it too. Yeah, they don't overclock Venera. Even if they overclock Venera, but the units are lackluster in the War of the Visions crossover, if they're not on meta, and not future proofed for 6 months, I think you're gonna get people dropping off before you bring the Nier collab. So I don't know. I think the Nier collab you should just send it. But yeah, I did get a Rain, and I did grab his Steamer. So that's a nice accessory to have. It's damage dealers only, I think, but that's where you want to put a 75% killer accessory anyway. So that's awesome. And yeah, so that was Clash. That was Summons. Let's look at the events that we had too. So we had Warriors Pilgrimage come in. This is pretty standard. There's really nothing to talk about here. It is a very interesting mix of units. I would say that have bonuses. Let me try to find a 300%er here. I'll go ahead and take a 300% with my team. And then we will kind of talk about the rewards a bit. Oh, here's a... Oh, wow. Emmy has EX3 Wilka as well. I thought she had it on her alt, but this is her main, I believe. That's awesome. That's really cool. Oh, actually, what I can do now, too, is I can get rid of one of these jabronis, and I can put my EX3 Wilka on here because... he's now EX3 and he doesn't have a reduced bonus level. I should have just typed in Wilk. I don't know why I scrolled. That was silly. Oh, and Rain has a 300. So that should go up with EX levels, right? I should go look and see and grab. Does he have coins in? Oh, he's only 250. Why is he only 250? Is this 250? Oh, it is. Okay, it is. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll put the new Rain in for the old free tag unit there, just for funsies. We'll put in new Rain. He's at 300. We'll give him EXP egg and stuff. I'm trying to remember all the all the names. One is actually EXP 50%, I think. Oh no, the The Moogle Intuition has 60%. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 I think these all stack. I don't know. There's no reason for me to save a Cacpot, but why not? We'll just give him any old items here. Here, yeah, have a katana. I don't. Who cares? Have a helmet. Have a your kimono. And then, is there any other accessory that's higher than 1.3? I think there is, but I'm blanking on it. Whatever it is right now, so I'll just give him a wind up LSA. Because I love Final Fantasy 14, even though I'm not subbed at the moment. And then there should be a materia for 50%. There is. And there's also one called Action, I think. Yeah. And this is also 50%. So this is a Trustmaster award from 9. The other one I think is purchasable or craftable. And then card, we'll give him, I don't know, Wilkes card, because funsies. It's pretty cool. Does he have TDH? Is he a TDH or? I mean, it would be really stupid if they put dual wield units in the game. Okay, large sword or katana. Yeah, so we'll actually give him a two-handed weapon. Why not? It's only right down here. We'll give him a Shin Shuriken. He actually has less attack though. That's fun. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then we will hit back on this and find a 300 unit. My bad. I thought EX3 Will could be 300, but I was definitely wrong about that. We'll grab this Sid here from Gert. Thanks, Gert. Thanks for making my overlay, by the way. A little shout out down in the title, but yeah, Gert made this for me. That's why he asked me what my favorite colors were last stream. He's making this. Which is tight. Like I was thinking about commissioning some overlays like when I got into this more, but you know, it's been a while. I haven't really stuck to a schedule or anything, so I never really bothered, but now that we have like a semi normal schedule, I think I'll probably do more. And then we'll just hit repeat, or we'll hit auto. My bad. Or yeah, repeat. So yeah, this is pretty simple. Like if you just want to find EX3 versions of all these other units that are available, you know, you don't need Dark Rain, you don't need Sid, even that he's kind of like a newer one. Maybe you didn't have enough coins. I believe, like I said, the Free Charlotte and what's her name, that is 300%. There's a few more that are 300% on EX3. So by all means, you know, send it. There is a couple items you want to buy with this, but this will be open for next week, so don't really want to talk about it too much, you know, because it's not ending today. But it is here. It is here for a sink of energy. The only problem with it too right now is that there's a much better sink of energy available in the daily Magicite dungeons. So before we talk about Three Realms or Malefic Eyes Dragon, let's just jump over here real quick and talk about Chamber of the Magicite here. So if you are behind on your Espers, this is an amazing way to sink your energy and get caught up. The tests at the top, they will drop 5 ore per battle. You just have to hit them with any ability that steals. So just grab your Masterminds on and hit Grand Waylay, and you get 5 ore. It's a random 5 ore from these 3 Esper's elements. And same goes for each one. But that's 20 ore a day for 400 energy. That's not an incredible return, but there's no other way in the game to farm daily ore. The only other thing you can do is send expeditions and get relics, and then turn the relics into ore, and that return is way worse than 400 energy for 20 ore. we're also talking about making regular ore, not the each elemental ore. And then here you're getting elemental ore. So say you already have Bahamut maxed. Say you already have, even if you're gonna like I have Bahamut maxed, or maybe you're maxing Bahamut. This is still better than not having it to waste the energy. I mean, you're gonna need pots, but hopefully if you've been playing for a little while, you've gotten a bunch of pots. As much as I don't like clicking the ads and the stuff in the corner, you can do this. This gets you more pots. This is a pretty good way to do it, to restore your energy and run. But it's totally worth it. I mean, espers get really good when you get the good stuff unlocked. Oh, I didn't want to go to arena, but let me go over to espers here. So we're getting EX3 Asura tomorrow. And apparently the fight is free. Apparently you can just Mirage for 3 turns and you win. So there's a bunch of characters that have Mirage. So, like, yeah, I don't know. You can just take 3 Miragers and then just AoE Mirage turn 1, turn 2, and then turn 3 and you win. You could take a Mirager and a level 3 Roka and quick them to uncool down their Mirage and Mirage again. Like, I don't even know. If she only hits you once and doesn't hit you multiple times, there's some Mirages that put like 4 or 5 stacks on that you can just sit on top of. I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but yeah, Bahamut is really tough to max at once you get him to level 3, because as you can see here, every single node on the outside is something you want, except for maybe the evocation damage, because like that doesn't really matter. But even the M break damage boost and the regular break damage boost are things you want, and they're 350 a pop. These demon killers, stone killers up here, these are 250 a piece, I believe, and then the node to unlock here is 100. In between, this just takes so much ore to do, and the screw up that they made with these dungeons is actually why I was able to get this done before we got to Asura. I've been working on this for like seriously a year. I've been working on this since I started playing again. Yeah, I mean it's rough. It's super rough. Actually, longer than that. I think I came back just before the Envy era in anticipation of something like that coming. I think I saw it. I think one of my buddies told me about it, or I learned secondhand about the Envy era coming in Japan. And then I got in, like, I think I started playing again in January of last year or December of 2020. One of those two. Something like that. Basically, when I was done with all of the mobile games, and I wanted one that respected my time, that's when I got back in. But I even still kind of want this reflection boost. Like, this isn't terrible, because if you're gonna actually use this Esper, you actually kind of want this and the evocation damage. So I still have to come back and spend 350 on this. It's just not like super important at the moment, because you're almost always, even with two-handed magic being back in the meta, there's still a bunch of two-handed magic that's physical. Like Roberta and Louise are physical magic damage, so like they still are going to work off of the physical break. The only person I would want to put the this on right now that it's gonna suck to not have this is like Dark Rain. So yeah, but that's a lot. So that same thing is happening to Asura tomorrow. So Asura is going to get a full outside row of stuff when you go to level 3, and it's going to be priced very similar to the way Bahamuts are, which is way more than your average Esper. And it's going to take a lot and a lot and a lot of ore to get there. I think somebody did the numbers, and it's going to take like 1,800 ore, almost 1,900 ore to get there. And I don't know how that factors in the free amount of SP you're going to get from leveling her back from 1 to 60. I mean, I have so much Magicite from running expeditions for forever that I should be able to easily cap her to 60. But I'm still probably going to need, like, I don't know, like 2,000 SP, which is like 1,000 regular ore. So that's what I'm coming to grips with. So like really what you want to do is you want to farm those every day and you waste the potions on them, because there's just no better way to do it. There just really isn't. And as you can see, like even though Asura is elementless, she still gets 2 per of this. And I have pretty much every other Esper. I have them to where I need them to be. I would obviously like to have some more stat boosts and stuff on some of them, but it's more important to get Asura and Bahamut squared away, because they're going to give you so much more damage than it is to like get a couple extra points on a tetrasulfate or whatever. As long as you have level 60 tetrasulfid, basically as long as you have level 60 everything but anima, you should be dumping all of your ore into Bahamut or Asura now. There's an argument to be made for Leviathan to get his killers and all of the magic boosting stuff at the same time because you want these current spells for chaining. However, if you have blue waves and the crimson wave materias, this isn't as necessary because you can always sack a materia slot to give bolting strike chaining to 2 units you might need to chain. But having this is good because if you go into like a trial clear with like say somebody that has flood, the buffing nickel, you give the Leviathan to somebody else and you can chain that together instead of chaining bolting strike or whatever. And sometimes those materia slots will be more important than what Esper you equip. So there's a little bit of ore to be spent here, but as you can see, not very much. I have all the killers unlocked. I didn't even have this last magic node. I think I dropped this last magic node with a couple of extra blue ore that I had laying around. From the buffs. I didn't have. You don't need this wind resist here. You can skip this. Resists are awesome, but like you don't need them. They're just bonuses. You can always get there with gear. I would get the 2 current abilities, just for other miscellaneous training or chaining purposes. And then the only other Esper that needs a lot of extra work with ore is Anima. To get all of Anima's good stuff, you want to get all the attack stuff. You want to get this ability here, this darkness stuff, because this is good for like trials where you need a dark resist buff and you want to bring a bunch of units and none of them have one. Oh, you can just equip them with the Esper and then you get boom 70 dark resist. Just have your supporter do this or whatever. And then you also want to get Crescent Moon's Wisdom because it's got an LB fill boost in it, and there's also a LB damage booster here as well. And there's also is it this one? No, there's one more thing in here that's notable. Oh yeah, auto limit, and then a free 100 LB fill. So those are things you kind of have to pick and choose, like which ones are you going to skip if you don't want to dump any ore into him. But again, there's nothing here that I would choose over Bahamut and Asura. So I would say if you have level 60 Anima and you're not going to dump anything else into them, go and get all the way to this Crescent Moon's Wisdom. LB fill rate boost is the most rare thing in this tree, so I'd say go to this, and then make sure you get your whatever stat you want to use on the Esper. So if you want attack, just get all the attack nodes. You're already going through a bunch of the attack nodes here anyway. I would just go up and get them as well. And then if you have some more points left over, you can pick up the resists. Having Dark and Darka is nice too, because this can chain with a few different units, Dark Rain especially. So if you go and Erin's ring and you equip this, you can solve your chaining issues similar to the way you can with Leviathan. But yeah, I would say if you are lagging behind on this, finish your Bahamut first. Dump everything into there, and then go straight into Asura next. So I was just dumping points and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and use these ores now, and then I'll probably reset my board here just once I see what the board actually looks like. I haven't really looked at any of the spoilers or what it looks like in JP. Because I don't think there's like a translated full picture. I think there's like a list of stuff, but I just grabbed the resists because I figure all the good stuff that I need is going to be on that side anyway, and they're going to be required. So I figure all the stuff I want is going to be over here because this is where all the attack and all the MP is. So like all the extra killers and stuff or whatever we get that's really good is going to be on this side anyway, and they're all going to be. It's all going to be like this links and it goes into here, or like these 3 will probably have a link with 1 more resist of each. These will probably go out here and have more links here and all that. And then I'm already over here on the Maj, so we'll work on this half and like then this bottom corner, and then we'll save this shit for later. Auto limit again, not a big deal because there's so much limit LB boost and stuff. And then this right here, this counterattack, this could be super useful, but there's also going to be a lot of fights where you don't want this. Or it just does nothing. Because if you counterattack with an 80% attack buff, but you're over buffing yourself with like 300 to 400 attack buff, it doesn't do anything. So it's not really worth grabbing, but if you have to get it on your way to something else bigger, then, whatever. But I'm not going to spend any more of this SP. I'm happy with this the way it is. It's still actually a better Esper to pick than most, just because if you look at how much flat stats you get, even though it's only level 2, it's really good. And it also has a human killer, so, pretty common type. We use it a lot. So yeah, that's something that we got this week, or we got back this week. We got it 2 weeks ago, but it was broken. So if you missed that, what happened was the fights here for 100 were giving you 50 ore per instead of... they were giving you 50 bonus ore for completing them every day. And we all did it on the first day. And then if you stayed up and like got on right after the reset in like the first 2 or 3 hours, you got to do it again, which I did. I was on vacation, so I was able to stay up late. And I got on and did all of them again, which got me literally like... so with the steel for 5 extra, that's 55 per. It's 220 extra ore I got from this, which translates into 440 extra SP, which unlocked like the last 2 skills I needed in Bahamut. So, but we got these back, so I felt like it was worth talking about. Make sure you do these if you can afford to do so with the energy. I mean, priorities, you still want to get through the story if you're a new player. There's so much good shit in the story. But once you're done with the story, you definitely want to come back and do these whenever you have extra energy. These are always going to be the number one thing to dump your energy into when there's a dead week. So even if you can't do all 4 every day, if you just dump your energy into 1 or 2 here and there, especially on the dead weeks where we don't have anything to do with our energy, huge plus, big boost. I do think though, since they give you so much fewer ore than we were getting, they probably should cut it in half. I think it should be 50 instead of 100, so that way like you can get all 4 every day no matter what. With the regular regen rate, and not have to use pots. But then again, we have nothing to do with our pots, so it doesn't hurt me that bad. I just hope it doesn't hurt new players to the point where they're discouraged by how expensive it is. I would even take it being lowered to like 70. Lowering it to 70 to where it's double the super site dungeons, I think is at least fair-ish. So then we had the 3 higher realms. This was pretty interesting. The first 2 fights are pretty simple. And then this one, you just have to do all 3 at the same time. What did I use? I don't even know what I used. I don't remember. I did them on like the second day, and then I didn't touch them after that. I used this team. No, this is the team I was trying to do machine with. I have no idea what I used for these. All I know is that on stage 2 of... this fight where you fight all 3 in a row, you get to kill the second guy for free. Or not this. You get to kill the second guy for free because he's undead and he doesn't block raise. So you cast raise on him and he dies, which is hilarious. But no, if you have modern units, this is pretty much free. There's some budget clears out there. If you're having problems with these, if you're still struggling with them, I would suggest going and checking out the budget clears. There's some good rewards in here. It's always worth doing these, like, one shots if you can. There's a mystery crystal and stuff. Olivia Dragon was interesting. I didn't really mind having a demon dragon, same weaknesses as Clash of Wills extra boss to do. This is actually kind of nice so that, you're not having to have this, like, wide box. So, like, maybe you're new and coming back and you've just pulled on all the Esther and Sylvie and Wilk stuff and you want to do this today, well, here you go. You can blast them, Doesn't even really have any interesting gimmicks. He preemptively reduces damage taken and removes 1 party member from battle. I think you dodge this by not taking full party. So if you just don't take... It's like Final Fantasy VI. Like, if you're going into a fight where they sneeze you, you walk in with the person... not in your party, doesn't sneeze a random person, and that's more control and that's better, right? So I think you just take in a group of 4 and you're good to go. Yeah, it doesn't say on this one, but it should say on this one. I don't have. I'm not going to waste a pot to look at it, but I think this one's like defeated with 4 units or less, and it's if you have Sylvie, it's pretty much free. Sylvie and any damage dealers and some decent gear, and you've got this one in the bag. So, but they did give away some Lapis, some STMR Moogle tickets, which is always nice. And that's all that we had this week. We didn't get any new trials. We're getting one tomorrow. We're getting another 12 types takedown. But what I could do is try to kill Death Machine. I can do probably this one for sure. But I don't know. I really don't know the fight all that well. I was trying to use Spidey strat, but I got wrecked on the higher level version one. So I don't know if I can do it. We can give it a shot though. I mean, let me just try to find an Esther that's geared for this. And well, we'll give it a try. Equip. Nope. We need an Esther with Machine Killer. Obviously. So I don't have any right now. I could try to bring my own Wilk maybe. Oh no, you can't bring anybody else. Okay. So I just have Zahn in the party because I was using this group to do my steals. Yeah, sick overlay, right? You should check out the guy that made it. He's awesome. His Twitch channel is in the description of this stream. Yeah. So I can probably definitely do the lower one. I don't know if I have no idea if I'll be able to do uh, the higher level one. I think for the higher level one, I'm gonna need what in the heck are you doing to me? Chat. My chat is messing up. Yeah. Yeah, but my chat window is pissing me off, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on here. I have my chat window. Whatever. You do this. I clicked on your name, and then now I can't click off of it. Like, the stats are just up, and I don't have a way to click off of it. It's so weird. Oh, I see. My chat window on my OBS window is too thin, and I couldn't see the X, but I can click in the space and drag it over and then click the X. There we go. All right. Anyway, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, take my own Wilk. That's what I was gonna do. Take my own Wilk as my 5th unit, since this one doesn't have a unit cap, and then see if we can kill it. I'm sure we can kill it. What was the complete the quest? 5. Oh yeah, 5 or less. Okay, yeah. So I'll take my own Wilk. And we'll see what happens. Okay. Vision card's easy. No brainer now. Yeah, man, sounds good. I'm just gonna do this, and then I'm probably gonna switch games actually, because I just talked about my Clash clear. I talked about what happened this week, and the pulls, and the units, and all the stuff, and the super site dungeons, and all that. And I'm specifically not doing music so that I can cut stream and reload, and then export this to YouTube and not get it like claimed by every record label that ever existed. So if you want to see any of that, I'll be uploading that to YouTube tonight or tomorrow, overnight or whatever. But I kind of talked about what gear I had to change around, and I followed Sinzar's strat with Runda and Chow in it, and I just had to compensate for doing a little bit less damage and stuff like that. Yeah, so I talked about all of it though. But let's see, let's gear up our Wilk. I don't know exactly what we're gonna want to do. We're gonna want to do here. 50 is higher, and then 45. We don't really care about flat MP. We'll just give him. He should get to demon on his own, and then we'll just give him some dragon killer to make up for his lack of dragon killer. Should be pretty simple. I don't think this thing instant deaths, but it might. So I'll just sack a few attack to throw that on him. Why not? We'll give him the all you need is strength. Although I don't even think you need. Yeah, you don't even need the LB damage. So I can actually give him any TDH 100 TDH item. So I guess I'll give him the fill rate one. And then he'll need some dragon killer. So let's get him some dragon killer. Last Guardian. Gets him to 275. Oh, he only needs 100. Okay, so we could do double 50. What else is there? Anything else that matters? We can do like dragon obliterating, and then does it matter here? We could do like dragon obliterating, and then we could do like a. He already has 300 demon, right? Yeah, he's capped on demon just for wearing his stuff. Is there a more efficient way to get him a 50 spot? And then use the other 2 slots for something else? I don't know. I guess 50 plus 100 LB fill is probably better than anything else we could do with 50. And like if he wasn't capped on demon, we would do this. I had to do this for CoW to get to cap to try to make up the damage. But yeah, I think that's probably fine. I mean, he's already going to have full evasion, right? Yeah, 1 evasion item gets him full evasion as well. And he's missing, what, 50 dragon killer? And 50 double hand. So we can just give him any 50 double hand. We'll just give him this anyway, right? And we'll just do different dragon killers. It doesn't really matter which ones we use and which ones we don't. We're just giving him his other 100 dragon killer from here, and we'll be done with that. So here you go. I have a dragonfly destroyer and last guardian. There you go. How much? 300% extra attack. And then we'll just mirror that here. What would he have without... Do we need to protect everybody from instant death? I don't think so. He does kill CoW every turn, but I think that's why Spidey uses Mira to because she can res and then entrust him every turn, so he can keep Omni covering over and over. But maybe what we should do is try to find some more LB fill for her, because what I was running into is I wasn't filling her LB often enough to get all the way there. So maybe we can sack one of these items for something better. Like maybe we can sack that for Dragon Brush. How much is this? 100? Okay. And then she has resists for a reason, I think, to not die. Maybe. I don't know exactly why. But yeah, we can definitely switch this to Dragon's Rush, I think. And that'll be more LB fill. Isn't it? Yeah, because it's the same thing and it calligraphies. So let's switch this to Dragon Brush. If she doesn't need the resist, I can switch this to Id's Close and get even more fill. I wonder... Auto refresh. Yeah, this gives another 100. So now what does she have? There you go. Okay, so she has 300% fill rate and then max fill. So that's almost an LB every turn. Is there a reason why she's wearing this? I mean, this is auto limit. Fair enough. Even though we don't need it. What does all my fans do? Automatically spirit buffs her. Okay. I'm sure she has something good here that we want to have up. Resist. Oh, 100% fill for free. Yeah. So she definitely wants to use an STMR or one of her things. But I don't. Why do we need this? I don't think we need this at all. Can we go here? Unless you need the resist for this fight. Maybe you need the resist. I don't know. So now, that's almost an LB every turn. That's what, 6,000? So that's 12. That's 12 times 4. Then it's 700 times 4. And then there's the Call the Wild times 4 as well. How much does Wildheart do? And there's that times 4. So that's 1,200. So that's 48 plus another 16. Yeah, that should be a full LB every turn. So let's see if she actually needs the resists or not. Did I finish equipping my Wilk? I definitely did not. So okay, let's just go all in and see if because Chow's Omni covering, so I shouldn't need instant death, right? I shouldn't need it at all. All right, so we'll just do this. We'll do this. What did I do? Emperor and Moogle? Okay. We'll clear the filter. Give him his 100%. And give him his 100% evasion. Alright. Now let's see what happens. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. Let's go here. And let's take a look and see what Spidey tells us to do. Okay, Spidey. Help us out with this. I'm sure that like the base phase will just get wrecked. So let's see how we do this. Can I unplug this? Will this kill my capture? No. Okay, good. Good. All right. So let's just fast forward here. Okay. Do. All right, so Divine Beast Chow, LB, got it. Then Esther's just gonna do her normal deal. Oh, energizing. Okay. So she's gonna do this, and then this, and then this. Oh, it's weak to lightning, right? So that would be why you wanted a second Esther, not a Wilk. Well, the Lowline Squall doesn't get lightning, does he? Or does he imbue himself? Okay, yeah, he does. Okay, so we'll try this without resetting first, and then if I gotta grab an undergeared Esther, I will. That's okay. We'll just do like for him. We'll do his break. We'll do his Magnus, and then we'll do Phil LB. I don't know. Doesn't matter. My regards, and then Squall does the Thunder Break. All right. CoW gets smacked. Counters a bunch. And I think you're just going to basically be re-raising yourself over and over with CoW. So this, and then he heals, and then he puts re-raise on his elf. I'm going to just thunder with this guy. And then we're going to LB and LB with these two. Okay. Seems good. Okay, CoW does not have LB, unfortunately. That's not good. He's supposed to have it. Let's do the damage first, I guess, and see if he gets it. And then accelerator edge. All right. Chain these guys up. All right, cool. He got it. So then he does that. And then we guard with mirror again. Or no, wait. We okay, we re-raise. We for you him to give him LB, and then we put re-raise on him, right? Or wait, do we hit single him? What does Myra do here? Oh, maybe she concerts or roaring crowds. I'm not really sure. This isn't really self-explanatory. This isn't. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, there's. Wait, what? Turns out death attack is only yeah, and it's only on it's only in one of the phases in the AI change anyway. It only happens in the lightning phase, I think, or the wind phase. I can't remember. So what the heck does Myra even do here? Just behind the scenes. That's it. Oh, okay, yeah. She doesn't actually fill his LB. I feel like you should want to fill it this turn. Well, let's see. When somebody re-raises, do they come back with their full LB, or do they come back with none? Oh, the first phase? Okay. I don't remember. That's the question. When somebody dies, do they come back with no LB, or do they come back with the LB? I think they come back with nothing. So that would make sense. Then you imbue next turn and re-raise him, and then he recovers. So that makes sense actually. Okay. Sure. Cover, cover, cover. Get wrecked. Okay. And then here we do this. And we do this. Or no, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. Or no, we don't want to do that. We just want to do probably triple bolting, I think. Or we start setting up because this is going to kill those other things anyway. No, triple bolting. Okay. Right. Oh my god, the other one's alive on 1 HP. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they don't. They definitely don't get their effects. So like, if you have like a LB fill or whatever, they don't get any of that. Dragon's brush or whatever like that. But I think they do keep it. Okay, so then he will then cover again. He will then omni cover again, and then she will fill him up and re-raise him. And this is how you cheese the higher level fight. For sure. I just need another Esther instead of my... Oh, or... Okay. I think it's because the other Searcher didn't die by turn 5. That's what happened there. So, we'll start over. I'll start over with another Esther. I think if you don't kill both Searchers by turn 5, you get fixed destroyed through cover. Can I get an Esther with Machine Killer, please? This says 275. That's not bad. And chain cap increase. We'll keep you in mind, sir. We'll keep you in mind. Okay, this also has 275. LB fill. Interesting choice of materia. This one's not level 130, so that's probably not a great sign, but... even less machine killer. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Almost 9k attack. EX3. Card. What is this, bro? Why do you have... My man, why do you have 3 empty materia slots? I mean, double ruler swag, but... Why don't you put an indestructible light in there? I mean, 300 killer. Like, dude, why would you not put an indestructible light in here? Like, I get you got all the stats, you got all your stats capped, but like, give me an indestructible light in here, bro. Yeah. Oh, okay. Only started after. Yeah. Dang. Well, 300. That's 300 killer though. Let me check. Let me check these guys. Let me take somebody that's fully geared if the option is available. Oh shoot! I didn't put my. There we go. Hold on. Hold on. I forgot to mute my messenger app before I started streaming because I'm dumb. Luckily, nothing was said there that... Let me take a look at the last few messages. Yeah, it's just my soccer buddies talking about soccer, so... Nothing there that is bad. That will get me banned, so that's good. I don't really think I say anything and that will get me banned anyway, but... You never know, man. The Twitch mods just like... You know, they go ham sometimes. They're like... You said a word that sounded like a word that isn't even that bad. You're banned. Okay. Did you see? Okay, I didn't. I don't follow League of Legends at all. I'm a Dota player, and I'm not even a Dota player anymore. But I saw that this I can't remember if she's Japanese or Korean, but she was playing League of Legends and she was getting stream sniped by like all the players on the other team, and they literally wouldn't end the game, and they made her play like a 160-minute game, which so that's like over 2 hours long before it finally ended. And like she just kind of half AFK'd because she was getting griefed and all that, and like her whole team was and stuff like that. And like they banned Riot banned not Twitch, but Riot banned her for something for 14 days. I was like, what? Are they is Riot scissoring, are they scissoring Twitch? Like is there crossover between the admins there? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, I instantly thought, I'm like, oh, that's what happens on Twitch. They don't ban the people who should be banned, and they ban the people who shouldn't be. Okay, so now why do you have? Oh man. Okay, let me pull my phone back up here. So let's take a look at this, Esther. This person has a Magister robe, and then they have chain comprehension on as well. I I think they probably meant to put indestructible light here and not chain comprehension. But I'm pretty sure Esther hits the damage limit. So what people don't, yeah, okay, chain limit boost. So this item hits it by itself. You can only, I think you can only get 100 chain limit boost from items. If the chain limit boost is 200, like every new unit has 100 baked in or something like that. I don't think this doesn't make sense. But even if this is indestructible light, like you're already at the cap with the item, and almost always the chain damage cap is going to get met by the unit itself. So this is just a waste of a slot that could be used for killers. And they do have 300 Machina killer though. So and they have max LB damage, which is good. Okay. So let's take this person. This person. Let's take them. And let's get rid of our Wilk. Sorry, buddy. And let me just check Esther's card here real quick. And let me see if it makes more sense for me to give her the Wilk card instead of the die card. She has well over the limit burst damage that she would. What did she get from this? Okay, yeah. So she's going to gain 20 attack from using Wilk's card. So I'm just going to give her Wilk's card. Okay, this has 50% damage boost baked into it too. So we went over this earlier, and I already forgot how good this card is. So yeah, there you go. So that means I'm still capped on everything. I need to be capped on Machina Killer. I'm good to go. Got a bunch of LB fill. See, now this is a combination of Magister Ruler that makes sense. Everybody has their death prevention. All right, let's try it. Oops. Okay, let's try this again. Lower level, we should be able to clear this. This will at least get us the materia recipe, so I can make materia killer plus or machine killer pluses. And I think you do the exact same thing here on the other Esther. Oh no, you don't need. Does this hit every? Oh, this is all allies. Okay, so you don't need this one. So you just do this, and then this. Sure. Fair enough. Make sure we target the Searcher B. And then Squall's going to go ahead and do this numbing break first. And then we chain these. I mean, we're not really chaining. Then we just send them. We'll be chaining now with LBs. Okay, Divine Beast Chow doesn't even die. He's a boss. Okay, so now we have to triple, do this, cure, and then re-raise on himself, I believe. Okay. Cool. We thunder, cats. Send that. Guard here. And send these. Oh, there we go. Now on the other fight, it'll take the one searcher to almost nothing, and it'll leave the other searcher at like 60 something. All right, so Chow will res here. He'll LB again. Mira will cast re-raise on him. And then we will chain it up with these units. Machine's all that's left, so we'll send them. And then I think we can LB with all three, and we win, I think. Maybe. I think normally with Squall you'd want to buff all his... You'd throw all his buffs out. But I don't think we need to on the lower fight. I think we just send everybody. I'll see what Spidey does on turn 4 for the higher end fight. See what it is. Okay, Spidey will... Let's see here. Yeah, LB with Chow. Or well, not LB with Chow, but I think we need a... Okay, with Chow he goes Cure, re-raise on himself, and then Cure again. Okay, interesting. We'll do it. I mean, just in case we don't kill here. And we're going to try the same strat again and see if I just screwed something up the last time, maybe. Okay, so we're going to re-break with Light Breaker. Gotcha. And then here we go playlist. Hit single. And Roaring Crowd. Piercing Voice. Roaring Crowd. No? He's confused. Yeah, okay. All right, we got him anyway. All right, so we'll just basically reset and try this again for the harder fight and see what happens. We'll have to find another Esther, though. I'd like to find a perfectly geared Esther. What's funny is if I had Spidey's Esther, it's like 9k attack and it has everything for this. I tried it the other day and I just didn't get anywhere. I kept getting killed, so don't know exactly what I was doing wrong, but I definitely was having trouble generating enough LB refills for Myra to give to Chow. I was definitely having issues with that. Okay, so let's try to find an Esther that's geared for this stuff. This one is promising. What do we have on equipment? Chain cap increase. And hey, Flip. Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, The thing is even if you set, I mean, well, I'd love to have you on my friends list, period. So let me get that out of the way right there. I'd love to have you on my friends list, period. But with the way the friends list refresh works, I don't know if you'll show up. But this one looks like it should be able to do it. At 300, maxed LB, you know, they got the card, which makes up for me. They got the chain cap increase. This one should work. But yeah, if you want to friend me up, dude, please feel free. Um, I am not smart enough to write down my code. Let me try the fight, and then I'll put my code up. Actually, what I'll do is let's try the fight. If I beat it, sweet. I'll put my code up. I'll go AFK for a few minutes to refill my water and stuff. And then this was the last thing I was going to do BE related anyway. And then I was going to switch over to playing a different game for the last hour or two that I'm here tonight. So yeah, let's full send this and see if we get lucky. I don't know. Okay, ciao LBs. Definitely, yep. And then we do this, and imbue, and then we do the same thing but skipping the energize because it's party wide. And then Squall does the Thunderbird. Myra does nothing. Make sure we target the Searcher B and then send it. This one doesn't matter because it doesn't do any damage, but I don't think anyway. Okay. Chow doesn't even die. Awesome. But then you need to... Let's see here. Provoke. Cure. Re-raise on himself. LBLB. And Thunder Beret. And then I believe Myra just defends again. Make sure we're targeting Searcher B. Just want to make sure I'm doing the correct actions. Yep. Okay. Okay, so that puts him to less than what... Oh, no. It's... What's Searcher A at? Yeah, so my Searcher A is about at this... it's about 6% higher. And... Oh, it's because my Esther's not EX3. That's the biggest problem. But I think this is going to overkill them either way, so... Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying this strat from Spidey Gaming. He was around. I think it was it Monday or was it last week? I don't know. And he threw me up on his friends list, and I was trying to do it, but I don't know if it's just my Esther doesn't have enough damage. But what was happening to me with his strat was my Myra was not getting enough LB to then entrust it to Chow to continue to cover every turn. But I just took some defensive gear off Myra and gave her a bunch more LB fills, so maybe that'll fix it. All you need for this for Esther is just capped everything for attack and then cap machine killer because this is all machine stuff. So just capped LB, capped attack, capped TDH, capped whatever. And then you want to put one source of guts on her. So like a lucid lens or chocobo feather, whatever. Yeah. So just do normal damage, machine killer at 100%, and then magister, any magister item, just so that she's got her chain cap maxed, and then 300 machine killer, which I think she gets to pretty easy, and one guts. Yeah, one guts just in case stuff goes wrong. If it goes super wrong and he does his fixed damage to everybody, It doesn't matter. You can have like 4 sources of guts on. I think it hits like 6 times though, so it doesn't matter. So it still kills you. But if something goes wrong and like Chow doesn't cover, I think the source of guts bails you out. I think. Anyway, let me see here. I might. I'm pretty sure what I did was I set up my Esther on my friends list for this. So after I'm done with this, whether I fail or succeed, I'll go look at mine real quick, and that should tell us something, or without me having to look at, because I can't. I would just say if you have Spidey on your friends list, just look at Spidey's Esther. I think it's in event slot 1. Or it might be in favorite. I don't know. His was definitely geared exactly for this because he's using a friend unit here too, and you know, I think that person geared it up for him the way he wanted it and everything. So then Squall is just triple bolting to chain with this, and then Myra was a single re-raise on Chow. Yeah. And then we switch to Searcher A, and then we chain this up. Okay. So now they should both die to the chaining from next turn, I think. The thing is, once both these Searcher things die, Chow Omni covers every turn, basically, and he gets nuked. But there's no penalty for anybody getting KO'd, so you just re-raise him and fill his LB with Myra each time. Because she has them on skills that you can multicast. I think that's the basic idea. I just don't know if I have enough damage to burn him down before he overcomes how much LB she generates. But I gave her enough LB fill to fill every turn, I think. So as long as she doesn't get one shot through Omni cover, I think I'm okay. I don't know. We're about to find out. Here we go. So Chow doesn't have enough for LB here. So what do we do with him? We do cure and re-raise on himself. I think he's still covering somehow. Does the Omni cover last for 2 turns maybe? We'll cure again to make sure he gets the full health. Yeah, okay. So that's what we do there. Then we do LB, LB, and then a light break. And then Myra does playlist, hit single, and roaring crowd. Yeah, and he did have fire and light resist gear on her, so she might die without having that now that I've taken it off. So we'll see what happens, I guess. All right. Okay, so both searchers died. I think that's what we needed to happen. I think if they live into turn 5, you get fixed damaged hit through Omni cover to everybody and die. I think that's what happens. Or it might not hit through Omni cover, but you know. How close did you get? I only did 2.55 billion with my my best burst turn. But that's good enough. It was good enough to get to missing 2 chain cap items and Esther's card, but Wilk was beefy enough. He was strong enough to get me to 2.55. So, oh yeah. Just here, let me look. Take a look here. Oh no! 10 milli short. What? Shenanigans. Gumi, see Gumi, this is why you're the biggest jabroni on earth. Locking people out, man. It's not fair. This. Okay. Okay, so now Chow Omni covers, and then I think Mira. Oh, see how much damage Mira took? I think that's because she doesn't have as much resist, fire and light resist. Since I took them off to ensure that she would generate more LB, so this might get squirrely. Okay. All right, so pretty sure Chow now has to Omni. Yeah. And then she's going to do what I think you're supposed to, which is Wait, hold on. What did he do? Oh, just resin? That's it? Okay. Oh, yeah, there's no point in doing it, I guess, because he's going to die again, right? So, sure. So just re-raise. All right. And then now with Esther, we go triple bolting and triple bolting. And then with Squall, we do this again, and then 2 excels. Okay, and then we chain that. Okay, so that gets, I am 3% damage behind. That's not terrible. Better for Wilk or Esther card? They're the same because they both give 140 attack. The Wilk card gives you 50% LB damage and 100% HP, I think, or something. But then Esther's card gives her 50 TDH, so then you can waste a different materia on her. It depends on the fight. Like, I had to rearrange my gear for my rank 1 clear. I talked about it at the beginning of how I had to rearrange my gear from Sinzar to make up for the chain cat boost items I don't have, and to make up for not having Esther. I had to sack a little bit of extra defense that he had on his materia, and I went from having 275 killer on each on Esther to having 300, and I just like let it rock. But for like fights like this, I don't think it matters. They're basically the same. Wilk's card on stage 2 though has morale fill, so if you're not in a morale battle, that's just a dead slot. So I'd probably say it's easier to work around Esther's card, unless you want HP. I don't have Esther's card, so I don't remember what's on stage 1 of Esther's card. But if there's no like defensive stats on stage 1 of Esther's card, then maybe Wilk's, because Wilk gives you like a HP. Wilk actually overcaps on HP if you give him any HP materia after you give him his card. It's hilarious. He's a beefy boy. Beefy boy dragon. All right, let's see what we do now. Okay, so now do we do for you and re-raise? Yeah, it looks like it. And then he omni covers again. Okay, yeah. So this is where I was getting tripped up when I tried this a few days back. So you for you Chow, you re-raise Chow, but the problem is getting Myra her LB again to continue to do this every turn. And then are we going to go back to, are we going to do LBs? No, we're going to do rebuff. Okay, I think we're going to rebuff here, and then we're going to probably buff Lone Lion Squall, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this makes sense. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Spidey. And then with Squall, we probably do all his stuff. Oh no, we just type a spirit. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Makes sense. Okay. So let's see how far behind on damage I am here. Still 3%, so that's good. I didn't lose any damage on that. Okay. So Mira has almost enough LB to grant what do you call it? All right, so now this is a tricky bit of timing here because you have to send Squall just before you send the other two. So here we go. think that's good. Okay, now Mira should have enough to get Chow his LB. Okay, I'm 6% damage behind now, though. So let's reload. Actually, I have more LB than he does here, so I don't trust the reload. Let me just let me just queue the skill. Let me just queue the skills back up just to make sure. Okay, so he definitely has it though. All right, he gets re-raised. We do this again. We hopefully generate enough LB on Mira to make sure that she can do that again, and then we burst. We do this again, then we burst with LBs again. I think. Probably. She's got Dragon's Brush and Call of the Wild and 400% fill and 4,800 fill. So, all right, here we go. My Squall has a lot less MP than his, though, so that might be a problem. Calm Bolt. Yep. Calm Bolt. Calm Bolt. All right. And then triple edge, or we still have Lightning Imbue. Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna full chain. Okay, I'm only 4% behind now, so I actually made up some damage there. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I lost damage. I paused before the last hit. Cool, man. Yeah, I will. You know what? If you want a friend, give me your friend code, or if you want to wait for mine, either way, it's totally cool. Mucho gracias appreciation for adding to friend list. So, all right, cool for you, and then re-raise. Here you go, Chow, and Omni cover again. Yeah, after this though, what I will do is I'll throw my friend code up while I AFK, and then okay, there you go. I got you. I'll add you after this. This should be it. Like, this is the moment of truth. There's only 2 turns left maximum. So Myra down to 1. So her guts got triggered there. That's not good. He has a full health Myra on his. Oh, his Squall got hit. Okay. So I guess it hits a random person. That's why you'd bring guts with everybody, probably. There's probably nothing you can do about that. Okay, and then what do we do with Squall here? We just... Oh, we don't do anything. This is supposed to kill? Let me watch how much damage this does. He's letting the full CG... He's letting the full CG burst play. Oh, Spidey, you're the man. I love you, dude. Okay, it's got like 20 extra hits afterwards, but I don't want to take any chances, so I'm going to send... actually, do we still... How many turns does this last for? 5? Oh, okay, so he's still imbued then. Whoops. Yeah, adds lightning element. He still has a turn. Okay. I don't know what I did wrong before, but at least it's done. Sick. All right, so we got everything done. Everything is done. So for tomorrow, everything is done. We're ready to go with the Shura. We've got 100 extra SP, plus I can redo my grid and get all my I get all my SP out of the resists if we don't need them. And heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Oh, and we got to rank up. Okay. I'm 219 now. Nice. Very nice. Very nice, very evil. Sweet. Okay. Friendos. Search. Here, let me this is going up on YouTube, Flip. I hope you don't mind. It already popped through by the chat, so I guess it doesn't really. Nobody's gonna watch it. It's my YouTube. Well, the thing is you set your. Here's my code too. If anybody out there wants and doesn't have it already, I have a bunch of space. I have like 80 spaces open. What's good though is like you're having that set though for anybody else to use. So, what did Squall do? Squall did for this fight. He opened with here. Let me just pull him up real quick. So he opens with one of these breaks. So the reason you have both of these break materials here is because you need to break again before the 5-turn cooldown ends. So he opens up with the Numbing Thunderbird to start with, 85 break all, and then 130 Lightning Imperil to all, which is what helps you kill the Searchers. Then after that, he just kind of uses his Lightning Imbue on himself. So he uses this ability on turn 2. He gives himself 5 turns of Lightning Imbue. This one is basically, it's whatever. He does this again later when he in part of the chain. So he just does this on turn 2. Then on turn 3, he chains with them for damage. So he just triple accelerator edges here. Then turn 4, I believe he... what does he do on turn 4? On turn 4, he breaks again. So on turn 4, I can't remember if it's... Is it turn 3? Yeah, no, it's turn 4. Turn 4, he breaks again because the Searchers need to be rebroken. And even though they don't get hit with the Thunder Imperil, they still get you still get the 85% all break, right? So the Thunder Imperil wears off, but Esther might have something to say about that. So then you re-break for 85% again. And then they double LB for the second time, and that should kill both Searchers. And then after that, he is going to redo his imbue on himself, and then double accelerator edge, and that changed with them when they do triple bolting each. Both Esters do triple bolting. And then the turn after that is he LBs or chains again, I think. With them, and then he Tyvus Spirits to set up his LB. So he does this to set up his own LB, and then he SLBs with them when they LB, and then they chain again, and then he chains again with them, and then on turn 10 you should kill with both Esther's LBs, but if you're unsure if that's going to be enough damage, you can just chain him for triple bolting again with those 2 LBs. So that's what Squall did in the fight. I would strongly recommend checking out. If you want to see the strat I used, I cannot take any credit for it. I don't come up with strats. There is the Spidey gaming video of how he came up with this strat. The only thing I changed that from what Spidey had set up was Mira he had with resists in the head slot and the body slot. So he had this Abigail here, and then he had the rainbow robe, I believe, here. Oops, help if I spelled it right. Rainbow robe. And then he also had, instead of Dragon's Brush, he had something else that boosted LB. So I think it was one of the newer items that we got for free, I want to say. Not the gauntlet, but was it this seal thing here? Yeah. Basically, he had this seal thing, and that was because if you don't have Dragon's Brush from the event, this is basically the same thing, but it doesn't have an extra boost. And I don't know if I just got unlucky the last time I did it with this and not Dragon's Brush or what. I don't even know if the 2 LB percent fills were really necessary. I might have been able to get by with just Dragon's Brush, but what I did have an issue with before when I tried it was with this build, I did not have enough LB fill. So when I 4U'd Chow for like the second time, he didn't have his LB, couldn't omni cover, and then everybody dies. And then everybody has one source of guts, or not everybody. She has a source of guts, and I believe the Esters both have a source of guts. Because if they get hit by that random attack that that killed my Myra, you need them to re-res because you don't have time to res anybody else. I don't know why Squall doesn't have. Oh, Squall gets one passively from his ability for equipping an STMR. So that's why Squall doesn't have a guts item on. He has innate. But everybody has one layer of guts because you can't predict who is going to get hit by that extra attack. I think on turn 6 or 7 or whatever it is, or 8, something like that. And whoever gets hit needs to be re-resed immediately. Um, so yeah, that's the fight. You can check out Spidey strat there. I'm going to go back to my friend code real quick. And I'm going to run upstairs and refill my water. Then I'm going to switch games. So for the people watching this on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. This is like my first experiment. I'll call this like the pilot episode of This Week in Brave Exvius, where I just kind of like go over all the stuff we did. Like I said at the top of the show, it's just an interesting idea. Nobody seems to do stuff on Wednesday because, maintenance is coming. We do news videos on Tuesdays. We do all the new stuff on Thursday, but we don't really kind of like review like what was cool, what was not good. Sometimes we get surprised. I feel like this fills the gap to where the "don't pull for carton" meme comes in. The 2 days before carton comes out, don't pull for carton. He's not that good. And then like Thursday, Friday, it's like carton's okay. And then by Wednesday, you're like, if you have the Lapis, you should pull for carton. Yeah, so like that's like kind of my idea. Like I don't think anybody else is doing this. And like I'm not like a strategy guy. I'm not like I'm not very good at the game. I've made peace with that. I keep up. And maybe I can go through some of the content that we did during the week. And maybe adjust some of the stuff down. Like if I see, like I said, for my rank 1, I didn't want to do it in the video because it would have taken up the whole like first hour. And it would have been really slow and boring because I'm like following a guide and everything. But I did talk about the way I changed the gear around to not fit to fit in the holes where I didn't have the items I would have needed from the guide that I used. So I think maybe I can do things like that, and maybe that'll be useful for some people. Ideally, though, I won't have to wait the extra week. I would have liked to do the CoW stuff last Wednesday, but without EX3 Wilk, I wouldn't have been able to get to the damage cap. It would have just been me doing a 280 clear or a 300 clear where I didn't get all the points because I didn't hit the damage cap. But there it is, right? So thanks for hanging out, my friends. I will be, if you're on Twitch, I'll be AFK for a few minutes and then I'll switch over to a different game. I'm going to play Outriders. Just recently got a new expansion. I'm farming some gear. I'm trying to finish the set so that I can get into the next tier of farming. So very similar to this, farming to farm some more. And then if you hit me on YouTube, stay tuned for these. I'm going to try to do this once a week and upload these. And, that's why there's no music. Please don't strike me down, any record companies. And, if it's cool and people like it, we'll keep doing it. So there you go. So thanks, YouTube. And I'll see you guys on the next one.